Are you birds ready? Thank you. Greetings and shalom aleichem. It's Mr. Vance of YHWHY, and we are digging into the scriptures this morning. And this is reading today about the death of Adam, not found in Genesis, but found in many other sources, and this comes out of the first book of Adam and Havah, and it is going to answer many questions that many of us have in regards to the life of Adam and the progression of what happened before the flood. But it also introduces most people to the cave of treasures, which will tie back to Abraham, and the cave of Pelah, the field of Ephraim, the double cave. And the cave of treasures, we also have in the New Testament, when YAHSHUA, the resurrected one, and his body was prepared, and there were some ingredients in those gospel narrative of the Passion. These are going to answer some of those, as well as tie in all of the other books, such as the Gospel of Miriam, Bashar Miriam, and Bashar Yaakov, the Gospel of Yaakov, as well as the book of the Acts of Pontius Pilate, which is also known as the book of Nicodemus. Now, we're going to start, which I normally don't do. I've started this book. We're going to be reading it from chapter 7. This is Adam V Havah Book, or first Adam, second Adam and Eve. So this is from the second book of Adam and Eve. We're going to start in chapter 7. I have full recordings of these. Refer back to them. We're going to start here, chapter 7. I'll find my eyeballs. Whew. Chapter 7. Adam V Havah Book. When our father Adam saw that Seth was of a perfect heart, he wished him to marry, lest the enemy should appear to him another time and overcome him. So Adam said to his son Sheth, I wish, O my son, that you wed your sister Achleah, Havilah's sister, that she may bear you children who shall replenish the earth according to Yah's promises to us. Be not afraid, O my son, there is no disgrace in it. I wish you to marry, from fear lest the enemy overcome you. Sheth, however, did not wish to marry, but in obedience to his father and mother, he said not a word. So Adam married him to Achleah, and he was 15 years old. But when he was 20 years of age, he begat a son, whom he called Enoch, and then begat other children than him. Then Enoch grew up, married, and begat Cainan. Cainan also grew up, married, and begat Mahalalel. Those fathers were born during Adam's lifetime and dwelt by the cave of treasures. Then were the days of Adam 930 years, and those of Mahalalel 100. But Mahalalel, when he was grown up, loved fasting, praying, and with hard labor, until the end of our father Adam's days drew near. Chapter 8. When our father Adam, that when he was knew the end was near, he called his son Sheth, who came to him in the cave of treasure. And he said to him, O Sheth, my son, bring me your children and your children's children, that I may shed a barakah blessing on them ere I die. When Seth heard these words from his father Adam, he went from him, shed a flood of tears over his face, and gathered together his children and his children's children, and brought them all to his father Adam. But when our father Adam saw them around him, he wept at having to be separated from them. And when they saw him weeping, they all wept together, and fell upon his face, saying, How shall you be severed from us, O our father? And how shall the earth receive you and hide you from our eyes? Thus did they lament much, and in like words. Then our father Adam Barakah blessed them, and said to Seth, after he had blessed them, O Sheth my son, you know this world, that it is full of sorrow and weariness, and you know all that has come upon us from our trials in it. I therefore now command you in these words, to keep innocency, to be pure and just, and trusting in YAHWH, and lean not to the discourses of Satan, nor to the apparitions in which he will show himself to you, but guard the commandments that I give you this day, and give the same to your son Enoch, and let Enoch give it to his son Cainan, and Cainan to his son Mahalalel, so that this commandment abide firm among all your children, O Sheth my son. The moment I am dead, take ye my body, and wind it up with myrrh, aloes, and cassia, and leave me here in the cave of treasure, in which are all these tokens which Yahweh gave us from the garden of Eden. O my son, hereafter shall a flood come, and overwhelm all creatures, and leave out only 8 souls. But, O my son, let those whom it will leave out from among your children at that time take my body with them out of this cave. And when this have taken it with them, let the oldest among them command his children to lay my body in a ship until the flood has been assuaged. And they come out of the ship. Then they will take my body and lay it in the middle of the earth, shortly after they have been saved from the waters of the flood. For the place where my body shall be laid is in the middle of the earth. Yahweh shall come from thence, and shall save all our kindred. But now, O Sheth my ben, my son, place yourself at the head of your people. Tend them, and watch over them in the fear of Yahweh, and lead them in the righteous way, Ashrei. Command them to fast to Yahweh, and make them understand they ought not to hearken to Shaitan, lest he destroy them. Then again, sever your children and your children's children from Cain's children. Do not let them ever mix with those, nor come near them either in their word or in their deeds. Then Adam let his Kodesh blessing descend upon Seth, and upon his children, and upon all his children's children. He then turned to his son Sheth, and to Havah, his woman, and said to them, Preserve this gold, this frankincense, and this myrrh, that Yahweh has given us for a sign. Zakar, in those days that are coming, a flood will overwhelm the world creation, the whole creation. But those in who shall go into the ark shall take with them the gold, the frankincense, and the myrrh, together with my body, and will lay the gold, the frankincense, and the myrrh with my body in the midst of the earth. Then, after a long time, the city in which the gold, the frankincense, and the myrrh are found with my body shall be plundered. But when it is spoiled, the gold, the frankincense, and the myrrh shall be taken care of with the spoil that is kept, and naught of them shall perish until the word of YAHWH, made man, shall come, when kings shall take them and shall offer to him gold in token of his being king, frankincense in token of his being Yahweh of the Shamayim and Eretz, Yahweh of heaven and earth, and myrrh in token of his passion. Gold also as a token of his overcoming Satan and all our foes. Frankincense as a token that he will rise from the dead and be exalted above things in the Shamayim and things in the earth, and myrrh in token that he will drink bitter gall and feel the pains of Sheol from Shaitan. And now, O Seth, my son, behold, I have revealed to you hidden mysteries that Yahweh had revealed to me. Guard my command yourself and for your people. The death of Adam. Chapter 9. When Adam had ended his commandment to Seth, his limbs were loosened, his hands and his feet lost all power, his mouth became dumb, and his tongue ceased together to speak. He closed his eyes and gave up his ruach. But when his children saw that he was dead, they threw themselves over him, man and woman, old and young, weeping. The death of Adam took place at the end of the 930th year that he lived upon the earth, on the 15th day of Bar Mudah, after the reckoning of an epact of the sun, at the 9th hour. Epact, eclipse. It was on the 6th day, the very day on which he was created, and on which he rested. and the hour at which he died was the same as at which he came out of the garden. Then Seth wound him up well, and embalmed him with plenty of sweet spices from sacred trees and from the Kodesh mountain. And he laid his body on the eastern side of the inside of the cave, the side of the frankincense, and placed in front of him a menorah kept burning, when his children stood before him, weeping and wailing over him the whole night until daybreak. Then Seth and his son Enoch and Cainan, the son of Enoch, went out and took righteous offerings to present to the Master Adonai Yahweh. And they came to the altar upon which Adam offered gifts to Yahweh. When he did offer, but Havah said to them, "Wait until we have first asked Yahweh to accept our offering, and to keep by him the soul of Adam his servant, and to take it up to rest." And they all stood up and prayed. Adam was the first. Chapter 10. And when they had ended their prayer, the word of Yahweh came and comforted them concerning their father Adam. After this they offered their gifts for themselves and for their father. And when they had ended their offerings, the word of Yahweh came to Seth, the eldest among them, saying to them, "O Seth, 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 3 times, as I was with your father," notes the writers, "so also shall I be with you, until the fulfillment of the promise I made your father, saying, I will send my word and save you and your seed. But as to your father Adam, guard the commandments he gave you, and sever your seed from that of Cainan, your brother." And Yahweh withdrew his word from Seth. Then Seth, Havah, and their children came down from the mountain to the cave of treasure. But Adam was the first whose soul died in the land of Eden, in the cave of treasure. For no one died before him but his son Havel, who, being murdered, then all the children of Adam rose up and wept over their father Adam, and made offerings, sacrifices to him 140 days. Then Seth becomes the head of the most happy and just tribe of people who ever lived. There you have it. That gives us a lot of information. It covers so many questions in so many books, because nobody has heard of the Cave of Treasures or the first or second book of Adam and Havah. Therefore, many of the other books that mention these places have been thrown out. They are skipped over. These are important details to show that first it was Adam that was created in the image of Yahweh, who would come in the flesh to a round young virgin named Miriam. And these details Adam knew He knew and prophesied about the plundering of these treasures, and that kings would bring them to the King of Kings. Therefore, rejoice, my friends. Dig into the Word for yourself. Dig in. Feast upon it. This is good stuff and builds upon our righteous walk when we are on the straight path of righteousness for His namesake. Baruch Hashem.